Periscope feed up and we are ready to go. Thank you guys for joining me today. Unafraid, right or wrong. We got a couple great things up for you guys today. First of which, make sure you guys share the feed, like the feed. We bring it to you every day. Please send your little hearts and send your comments in, and we will definitely, well, I will definitely get to them. And this is a conversation. This is our conversation. First off, we got up for you guys proof that Colin Kaepernick has been blackballed in the NFL. Proof. Then LeBron speaks about Kyrie and Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. What's the truth of this? Are you buying it? Are you in on it? Some people think they're in cahoots. Some people think that Mayweather's going to get hurt. And then there are these crazy people who actually think that McGregor has an opportunity, a chance to knock Floyd out. Not happening. Not happening. Real boxers can't even touch a dude. I don't even know why anybody expects that. So, but first off, proof that Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed in the NFL. We already knew this. Like, we already knew this. But for somebody to actually say it, I'm going to post a link on my Twitter when we get through. So ESPN, they did a survey of 50 NFL executives, not just people who work in the organization, but 50 NFL executives. Colin Kaepernick was already ranked out of 36 quarterbacks who were quote unquote starter level. He ranked 29th. And mind you, he was on a bad team ahead of the Broncos quarterbacks, the Jaguars quarterbacks, 49ers quarterbacks, Rams quarterback. I'll give Jared Goff a pass just because he was a rookie last year. Houston Texans, the Jets, and the Browns. Already ahead of them, right? So, but here is where the proof came, right? Here's what an anonymous executive, mind you, I don't mind anonymous sources because this is how you get whistles blown on some stuff sometimes, as long as that they are accurate. Here's a quote. It's not really about his ability. It's about the risk of what happens to the team concept when you sign a guy, a quarterback, who has put his personal agenda ahead of what we are all charged to do, which is put the team first. As a team builder, I cannot risk that happening again, especially for a borderline starter who needs the entire offense catered to his style. So, no, the Carolina Panthers are going to the Super Bowl. But here's the thing. Here's the proof. It says it's not about his ability. It is about signing a guy to put his personal agenda above the team. It's always incredible to me, the NFL. So they get mad at guys for not acting like well-adjusted human beings. Like, oh, you have to be balanced. You guys don't get in trouble. Do these things. You're supposed to do the right things. All this, right? That's what they preach you. That's what they tell you. But then they want your every core, like every part of your being, to be dedicated to the NFL. They want every part of you. And if there's any part of you that is not dedicated to the NFL, they question you. Like Josh Rosen. They question you like Kaepernick. Because the reality is, it is impossible to be a well-adjusted human being who makes good character choices on a consistent basis when all they want you to be is a football player. Ooh, football. I have to eat, sleep, breathe. And if I talk about anything else, or if anything else matters to me, I'm not putting the team first. That's a lie. That is a lie and a myth. Don't let anybody sell you that. Because when it comes to players' literacy campaigns, when it comes to domestic violence, like Jason Witten speaks out about, he's got a foundation that does that. When it comes to cancer, that's an acceptable stance to take, to actually spend some of your free time doing. The NFL gets political all the time. Breast cancer, the whole month is pink. The whole month of October is pink. So they can sell more stuff. There's the Veterans Month, the Armed Services Month. Mind you, they had flyovers and flags out on the field and everything propagating the United States and how great of a country that we live in. I love my country. However, that is bringing politics into sports. But then you're upset when a player does it. So I like this this NFL executive for telling the truth. Out of the 50 that were polled and asked about Kaepernick, he told the truth. The man is good enough to play. When you look at his stats, last year, I know the 49ers went 1-10. They had the least amount of talent on the whole team. In the whole league. Their coach, Chip Kelly, was getting fired. They had no talent, had a bunch of people retire. He ended up in 10 games, threw for 2,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and rushed for almost 500 yards and another 2 touchdowns. Andrew Luck would be happy to have a 4-to-1 interception ratio right now. But then you'll see on television, they'll put up stats. Oh, the last 2 seasons, he's 3-12 as a starter, 3-18 as a starter. All this, right? Those are the stats that you get put up. The last 2 seasons, here are the stats. But in reality, the NFL is what have you done for me lately? And lately, the dude has been good. So that lets you know he's being blackballed. When the quote literally says, the man quoted, it's not about his ability. So if it's not about his ability, what is it? If it's not about... if you don't mind people taking stances for other causes, literacy, cancer, domestic violence, then what is it really about? You don't like his cause. You don't like the cause. That's the problem. And it's not disrespecting our military, because our servicemen and women serve our country the way we can to protect our freedoms that we have, and laying down, sitting, kneeling, whatever we want to do for the flag. That is our right in this country. And the United States was founded on protest. The Civil War, protest. The war with the British, protest. Taxation without representation. Come on, man. This is what our country was founded on. But we want to be mad at Kaepernick. Proof that he was blackballed. Told you. Next up, LeBron. I am glad that LeBron is speaking out about things now. Remember that time he lashed out after the playoff game and he said, you got to go. These people have to go back to their miserable lives. Remember when he said that, right? Yeah, he got a lot of flack for that. But reality is LeBron is speaking out. He actually spoke up for Kyrie, because when they posted that picture about of the kid pretending like he was going to burn the jersey and then he didn't. He said, thanks. That's what you're supposed to do. And LeBron went on Twitter. I tweeted it out today. So after you finish watching this, then you can look on my Twitter. But I'll read you the tweets that LeBron actually said. And I'm happy he spoke up, because it is about time that we see professional athletes not just be silent. You don't have to be silent. You can speak up and say something when stuff is going wrong. And that is A-OK. That's what you're supposed to do. So LeBron said about, he was referring to Isaiah Thomas, because people were mad, burning his jersey and all this stuff. He said the burning of the jersey thing is getting ridiculous now. The man was traded. What do you not understand? And he played in a game after his sister's tragic death. Gordon Hayward paid his dues as well and decided to do what was best for him and his family. He put in the work, got better, became an all-star, etc. If these guys weren't good, you guys would be the first to say, get him up out of here. Man, beat it. When we decide to do what's best for us, it's cowardly, traitor, etc. But when it's on the other side, it's business. Okay, man. Do what's best for you and your family and happiness and all that, right? And I applaud LeBron for speaking out about this. Because this is what you're supposed to do as a human being. You don't have to stay silent because you think people aren't going to buy my shoes. People aren't going to this. I am critical of LeBron at times for on-court stuff. Particularly about, I believe that he hinders his teammates' growth. I do. I believe that he hinders his teammates' growth in terms, especially offensively. I am critical of that. But off the court, the dude is the GOAT. LeBron is the greatest of all time off the court. He is good in the community. Sent over 1,000 kids to college. He takes care of his friends. Not just handouts, but has them working, gainfully employed. In bringing more money into the LeBron James empire than they're taking out. He's got off-the-court ventures, Spring Hill Entertainment. So he's got TV shows, movies, all these things. He loves his family, takes care of his kids, loves his wife openly. And you're going to sit here and tell me this dude is not a winner? And that's why I applaud him for that. And that's why I say that LeBron is the greatest of all time when it comes to being a teammate, when it comes to the off-the-court stuff, and actually being a well-rounded human being. Kobe didn't do that so well, and Michael Jordan damn sure didn't do it very well. Those are the things that you have to love about LeBron. Even if you aren't a fan of his on the court, you don't like the Cavs, you don't like some of the antics, the flop and all that, that's fine. You cannot like that, but you have to appreciate LeBron as a person. Like he is what you want in terms of character, what he displays out in the public, what you want your kid to be like. Because remember, we used to always think, oh, you want your kid to be like Tiger Woods. You can want LeBron to go back to Miami, but it's not happening. We used to want our kids to, oh, yeah, let's be like Tiger. But Tiger was a robot, A-Rod. They were robots. They were created in a lab to not show what was really going on. And in the end, it ended up blowing up. But LeBron is that superstar, that first generation of superstars that's really been like, you know what? I'm going to live out here like this. I'm going to show who I truly, really am. That way, I don't have to hide my dusty corners. I don't have to pretend like I'm something that I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Tiger did. That's what A-Rod did. That backfires on you. And especially in this social media world where everybody has a flip phone, everybody has a camera. LeBron's not pretending like he doesn't say curse words. He's not pretending that, he doesn't get mad at his teammates, that he doesn't have, emotional outbursts from time to time. He's not pretending that. And that's the best thing about him. And that's the thing that I love about LeBron. And when you look at, guy brought up nature. It is survival of the fittest. It is survival of the fittest. But you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your community. And you have to take care of the people around you, because that karma, it does come back to you. It does. And that's why I'm glad that LeBron's not being silent, because you don't have to sit there and be a punching bag for the media. You don't have to be a punching bag for fans, because the reality is this. Players leave and change teams. There is no loyalty in sports. If you're a player, remember this. A player does not choose where he's drafted. This is the one thing that you really have to pay attention to. Player does not choose where he's drafted. Kevin Durant did not choose to go to the Seattle Supersonics. Then he did not have a say-so in the Supersonics moving to Oklahoma City. So now when he becomes a free agent and he wants to go where he wants to go, has a choice, he's earned that right, put the work in on the court. Earned the right. But now he's a traitor, he's weak, and he's a punk, he's a traitor, he's all this for leaving and going to Golden State. No, LeBron even says it right there. You can't criticize the man for that. He didn't choose any of those choices, and then when he did, he made the best decision for himself. For a bunch of reasons. Number one, he's one of the best players of all time. Probably top 15 players of all time in Kevin Durant. And you don't want to be the Charles Barkley, the guy that finishes your career with no ring. Because they talk mess about Charles Barkley all day. You saw last season on Inside the NBA, Shaq and Kenny just go in on him because he doesn't have a ring. Then you look at Gordon Hayward. People in Utah were mad at Gordon Hayward for leaving. He didn't choose to go to Utah in the beginning. Utah drafted him. Why should he be loyal to somebody that he didn't choose? And the owner was not going to be loyal to him. Had the owner had an opportunity to get LeBron James, he would have shipped Gordon Hayward out if that's what it meant. And that's what is so interesting to me, is that fans get so agitated and they get irritated with players about doing exactly what you do for your own family on an everyday basis. If you get a job opportunity if you live in LA, I live in LA. If I get a job opportunity in Dallas that is going to pay me buku amounts of money, and it's going to be a good situation for my family as well. Wife wants to move to Dallas. Kids want to move to Dallas, whether it's Dallas, New York, or wherever it is. They want to move. It's going to be better for them. Wife's business goes well there too. Guess what? We're moving to Dallas. I don't care about my old company because I got to do what's best for me in this situation. That's the same thing players do. So when fans, like, they have this expectation of loyalty and they expect players to be loyal when there's no loyalty on the other side. It's almost like not slave mentality, but it is just so much more of a almost indentured servitude. Like you have to be here because we expect you to be here. No way. No way. That doesn't have to happen. Last up, though, we have Conor McGregor and Mayweather. Well, Mayweather-McGregor is this weekend. And so part of me is super excited for this fight. Super, super excited because I am a Mayweather fan. I wasn't 100% sure that I would get a chance to see him again, but part of me knew he wanted that 50-0. He didn't want to be 49-0. He wanted to be 50-0. And I want to thank you guys for joining the feed. Share, please swipe over, share the feed, the way everybody can join in the conversation. Yeah, so, and here's the interesting thing about it, is that it's insane to me how people look at this fight, how people look at this Mayweather and McGregor fight, and they say, you know what? Floyd hasn't fought anybody. Floyd hasn't done anything to deserve the credit that he's gotten. He's robbed boxing. I heard this 3 times today, that he's robbing boxing. He hasn't fought anybody. And I'm sitting here like, okay, so who has Floyd Mayweather not fought? Well, who hasn't Floyd Mayweather fought that you wanted him to fight? He fought the same people that Sugar Shane Mosley, that Pacquiao fought, that all the top fighters in this time have fought. So who else do you want the man to fight? He beat Canelo, who's one of the best fighters now. Triple G wasn't even around at that point in time. He beat Sugar Shane, beat a bigger Oscar De La Hoya, beat Ricky Hatton when Ricky Hatton was on top of the world. And he beat Diego Corrales, beat Timothy Bradley. And all these people he beat before Pacquiao beat him. So if you're critical of Floyd, you have to be critical of everybody else too. The man literally fought everybody who was major in the division that he was supposed to. He fought everybody. He even went to different divisions to fight. He went up in weight. He fought at 147, 135. 154. He's fought at different catch weights just to make fights happen for you, the public. So it doesn't make sense to me where there is the critical and to be critical of him. And then I think, okay, well, maybe people just want him to fight, people who don't know boxing, oh, maybe he should fight Bernard Hopkins. He should have fought Bernard Hopkins when he was in his prime. Maybe he should fight Andre Ward right now. No, man, Andre Ward's like a light heavyweight. He's like 175. And maybe he should fight Klitschko. No, man. Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest boxers of all time. And I get why people root against him. I do not mind people rooting against him because you think you don't like the flash, you don't like the strip clubs, you don't like the domestic abuse, you don't think he's changed. I can understand why you can loathe Floyd Mayweather for a bunch of those reasons. All of those are legit and make a lot of sense. But what you can't do is hate on the man's career. Because inside that ring, he has been the most untouchable fighter in boxing history. And one of the most accurate punchers in boxing history. He doesn't have a whole lot of knockouts anymore and all this. Yeah, but the man touches you up. And here's the thing that you really have to pay attention to that people don't really notice in Floyd fights. They don't really pay attention to this in Floyd fights all the time. Is that when he has fought against big time punchers like Marquez, Pacquiao, like high volume punchers, what do? Those punchers have the lowest punch outputs of their entire career when they fight against them. Why? If he couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag, if Mayweather couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag like people say, he has no power, then guess what? They would throw punches and not worry about getting hit. But guess what they do? They go in that shell and they're like, oh no, I can't throw punches. No, because if you throw a punch and miss, he's going to tag you. And guess what? It might not feel like Mike Tyson punching you, but them shots right on the button, they daze you. It's just constantly just, oh. You know what I mean? And that would get annoying. It would get annoying and it eventually just wears you out, slows you down. He goes to the body. And the idea that McGregor has zero chance, I'm not buying into that. Zero chance? No. Because I saw Antonio Tarver punch and beat Roy Jones Jr. I saw that. I saw the man duck, close his eyes, throw a punch, and knock Roy Jones Jr. out. So I'm leaving room for that. But aside from a lucky punch that Floyd just lets his guard down and you don't see coming, aside from that, there's no way. It's not happening. There's no way on earth that McGregor is going to win. He's not a boxer. I'm actually more concerned about McGregor being hurt than I am, like really badly hurt in this fight. Because you have to remember one thing about Conor McGregor. The dude is tough. He's got a chin. He's been fighting his whole life. He is tough as nails, and he's the kind of guy, you hear his confidence, his bravado, his brass. He would rather die than lose, right? And when you get people who are at that mode, Floyd is built out of the same stuff. When you get people who would rather die than lose, it sets up an opportunity for something really bad to happen just because their body won't allow them to go down when they should. There was an MMA fighter turned boxer a couple years ago. Well, actually, no, it was last year that he had 34 MMA fights. 34. So he was not a rookie. He turns over to boxing. 4th boxing match. Traumatic brain injury. Horrific brain injury. You got to pay attention to these things. Because, yes, the UFC is violent. Yes, mixed martial arts is violent. But remember this. If it is a non-title fight in the UFC, they are only fighting 3 rounds. Title fight, 5 rounds. Which amasses a total of 25 minutes. And some of that is spent on the ground, wrestling, or trying to take down and all that. But in boxing, you get hit in the head so many more times. Hit in the head, hit in the body. So many more times than you do in a UFC match. Just because of the time constraints. Because a boxing match is 12 3-minute rounds. That's 36 minutes. That's 11 more minutes. that you're getting punched in the face. And there's no kicking. There's none. So there are more strikes delivered in a boxing match than there are in a UFC match. So Conor McGregor can seriously get hurt in this match. Seriously be hurt. That's what you need to be worried about in this match. It's not so much will McGregor win. Question is, can he get a lucky punch? Okay, there's novelty in that. But I'm in it to see Floyd put on a display because I think that Floyd wants this. I think that Floyd wants to end his career with a knockout. He wants to silence and shut up all the critics who talk bad about him. Oh, he's not TBE, the greatest, the best ever. He's not this, he's not that. Yeah. He reminds me a little bit of Michael Jordan, right? In that he's had off the court transgressions that haven't looked very good in public. But at the end of the day, what they cared about most, more than their family, more than anything else, is winning. And they cared about the game more than anything else. That's what made them the greatest of all time. Same thing with Floyd. And that's why LeBron can't be the greatest of all time, because there are things that mean more to him than basketball. Like his family. Trying to do right by people. Those things mean more to LeBron. That's why he can't be the greatest of all time. But guess what? I'd rather be LeBron than either one of them two dudes. Than Michael Jordan or Floyd Mayweather. Them dudes aren't as happy as they look. That's why. You guys, thank you guys for joining me today. Right or wrong, unafraid. Please continue to like the feed, share the feed with other people. I appreciate you guys joining me each and every day. We'll keep bringing the heat. All right. Peace out.